years of work experience. I have worked for different organizations and, of course, different bosses and different employers. Some of the employments came to end because of the project ending. Obviously, the contracts were ended. I came to learn that there is always going to be change in life, and though you can be terminated or though you can move from here to there, I've come to learn that what stay with you is skills that nobody can take away from you. I came to learn about these 5 skills that we're going to discuss. Please stay tuned as we discuss about them in details. Hello guys, my name is Joy. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to discuss about 5 skills that have helped me succeed in my career, and I believe that they can also help you in one way or another, because trust me, nobody can take them away from you. So let's dive into them. So the very first skill to master is to master time management. And when we talk about time management, it means being on time, getting to work on time, and making sure that you use your schedule very wisely. Sometimes we tend to be distracted. Things such as maybe our phones, social media, WhatsApp messages, and so forth. There is something that we've learned when I was in college. It was more about psychology, and we were discussing about selection and attention. And we came to learn that sometimes when your mind is scattered in different places, you don't concentrate because you are all over the place. So with that being said, it is really important to focus and to learn to know what is important, learn what is urgent, and learn to prioritize them, because at the end of the day, if you focus on something that is not needed or that is not important, you're forgetting about something that is very crucial that can also be taken serious at the moment. Something else to keep in mind is to make sure that you understand your employer's priorities. For example, if it is more about success, you should be able to discuss with your manager about what success looks like. Please be able to understand the timelines and what they mean and what you are expected to do. It is really crucial for you to sit down with, especially your line manager or your supervisor, and discuss about your job description. Because at the end of the day, even if you're going to be, in the office working together with different teams, you will be held accountable of what you came there to do. So it is really essential for you to focus on the most priorities, and you learn them by sitting down with your line manager or your supervisor and to discuss about them. Another trait or skill that is very important for you, for me, it has helped me very much because I have been trying to be honest, and it is all about being authentic and being honest. So I remember when I was interviewing for my second employment. During the first interview, I was asked a question, and when I was invited for the second interview, I was asked the same question. So have I said the wrong thing, or have I invented a story? It would have been something different. So being honest is very important, because there's a saying that says, I don't know if that's proper English. There's a saying in our culture that says that the truth, even if it was to pass through the fire, it wouldn't burn. So being honest is really a very valuable skill, and it's a trait that is really commendable for everybody who is looking for succeeding in their career. This trait is very simple, but you can't undermine its implication. It requires you to be humble enough to be down on yourself and to have humility. And this trait is about asking questions. I once worked with somebody, and this lady used to say, I know this, I know that. And it reached out to a point where the colleagues would really realize the things that she did not know. There will be a moment in your career where you will be tasked things and you will be asked to do the things that you don't know how they are done. They can be about different tools, systems, and everyone has their first time. So it is really important for you, and it is really okay for you to say, I don't know how this is done. Can you please take me through that? It's not wise to nod your head and say, yes, let me work on it, yet you don't understand how it is done. Different employers and companies do have different tools that they use. So it is up to you to make sure that you have all the required skills and knowledge to perform that specific task. Friend, if you don't ask, nobody will know. By asking questions, you get to know more and to learn more. And by knowing, you are able to perform better. The fourth trait that has kept me going and has really helped me along my career was about keeping healthy boundaries. This is more about knowing when to say yes and knowing when to push and say no. There was a time when I was always saying yes to everything. Everybody was coming to me, I was cooperative, and I was willing to help everybody in the team. However, there was a time when I had to push back. Learning how to say yes and when to say no has helped me along the way, because there were times when I remember my manager called me and he was on leave, but he called me because there was something that was really important and was going to affect the amount of donations that our organization was receiving. And this task required for me to work with different departments. So this manager was like, Joy, I want to do it, and please, can we have it done in 3 days? And trust me, this is an assignment that took us almost 3 months. We were on the phones and I asked him a few minutes to have a look at the assignment and get back to him. I took some few minutes, I looked at it, and I was like, this one, I'm not going to overcommit to it, because if I overcommit, then I'm going to be held accountable and responsible. I also remember asking myself, can I keep my words? And I was like, this is not something that can be done in 3 days, rather, it's something that can take more than 3 months. I called him back and asked him that I'm willing to take on the assignment, but I want more time. When I negotiated with my manager that I needed more time, he was a little bit unhappy about my request. However, he was like, okay, if you think so, let's go for what you proposed. So I went ahead and worked on this assignment. By the time it was to be submitted, I already got another opportunity and I left the organization. But I remember some of my colleagues reached out to me and they were celebrating the amount of praise that they've received because of the work that I really have initiated. So this trait has shown me how important it is for you to negotiate and learn when to say yes and when to say no. Helps you a lot because it prevents you from burning out, from overcommitting yourself. Again, as you have seen about time management, it is really important to take a few seconds and pause and ask yourself, is really this important? Is this urgent? How urgent is it? And what are the risks that are associated with it if I can push it back a little bit? Is it something that can wait for tomorrow or can wait for 30 minutes later? So every time when a colleague comes to you, please ask yourself if this is something that needs your energy and your effort right now, and also assess if it's not something that can't be delegated. Guys, all these skills can't be found on your CV. They're the things that really live with you. They stay within you. They stay with how you work, and they cannot be taken by anybody. They cannot be terminated unless if you want to let go of them. If you found this video very helpful, please do let me know in the comment section. Also, please do let us know in the comment section if there is any of these skills that have been working very well for you.